Barkley getting involved. They're having words now.
Now Michael Jordan and Reggie Miller having a go at it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a deep dive into one of the wildest topics ever, Michael Jordan's most disrespectful moments in NBA history. You know him as the greatest basketball player of all time and a true legend. But even legends have their moments of trash talk and intense rivalries. In this video, I will share some of the most jaw-dropping, shocking, and downright unbelievable moments when MJ showed no mercy on the court. So sit back, relax, and get ready to hear the stories that will make you wonder if there is anything Michael Jordan would not do to win. We all know that Michael Jordan was feared on the court. The level of fear he inspired in his opponents was insane. It did not matter who you were or what team you played for. If Jordan was coming after you, you knew you were in trouble. One of the most talked about incidents took place during a practice session in 1995, when his teammate Steve Kerr, who was playing his first practice game with the Bulls, found himself in the middle of Jordan's fury. Coach Phil Jackson had arranged for Jordan and Kerr to guard each other, but Jordan did not know much about Kerr at that time and had little respect for him. During that practice, Jordan started talking trash and roughing Kerr up. On the very next play, Jordan got the ball and drove to the basket, hitting Kerr with a hard foul. This act of disrespect left Kerr frustrated. Not wanting to back down, Kerr tried to return the favor. He drove up the court and hit Jordan with an elbow right to his chest. That was the moment when things got really intense. Jordan lost his cool. He hauled off and hit Kerr back, and the situation quickly escalated into a full-on fight. The entire team had to come in to break up the altercation. Coach Phil Jackson even had to step in and kick Jordan out of practice. It is hard to imagine the intensity on that court that day, but it clearly showed that when it came to winning, Jordan was ready to cross the line and disrespect anyone, even his own teammate. Another unforgettable moment came during the 1996 NBA Finals when Michael Jordan and Gary Payton faced off on the court. The Bulls beat the Supersonics in a 4-2 series, and Jordan collected his fourth championship ring. However, 25 years later, Gary Payton, who is known as one of the best trash talkers in NBA history, recalled that he believed Jordan beat him by luck. In an interview for a documentary, Payton claimed that if he had been able to slow Jordan down or get a bit more aggressive early in the game, he might have turned the series in his favor. When Payton said this on camera, Jordan saw a clip of it, and his reaction was priceless. It was one of those moments that showed just how much disrespect and rivalry existed on the court. Without even saying a word, Jordan's look of disbelief and barely concealed anger spoke volumes. It was as if he was silently telling everyone that no one gets to question his greatness or his work ethic. Then there is the heated feud with Kevin Garnett during the 1996 season. At that time, Garnett was a rookie, and his team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, was facing Jordan's Bulls. Garnett and his teammate were having a great game, and the Wolves were only down by 3 points at halftime. Feeling confident, Garnett started trash-talking on the court, telling his teammate to keep pushing and that it was easy to beat Jordan. But what Garnett did not realize was that Jordan was right there, listening to every word. As the second half began, Jordan came out in full force. He turned the game around and dominated the court, scoring nearly every basket. The Bulls won by a margin of 21 points, and Garnett was pulled from the game. After the game, Jordan walked over to the Wolves bench and made it clear that he would not tolerate any disrespect. His silent message left Garnett and his teammates with a lesson they would never forget. Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley had a complicated relationship that went from friendship to bitter rivalry and back again. In one infamous incident during the 1993 finals, Jordan decided to give Barkley a $20,000 diamond earring just before Game 4. It may sound like a friendly gesture, but Jordan later admitted that he did it because he wanted to make a point. He said that Barkley would never get in his way if he got the earring, and it was all part of his plan to keep his focus and win the championship. Later on, Barkley expressed his anger about the incident. Their friendship never fully recovered, and even years later, whenever Barkley and Jordan crossed paths, the tension was palpable. This act of gifting a diamond earring was not just about money, it was about control and respect, and it remains one of the most controversial moments in their relationship. There is another incident that involves a teammate from the early days of Jordan's career. Bill Cartwright, who replaced Charles Oakley on the Bulls, once became the target of Jordan's relentless trash talk during practice. In one session, Jordan began by calling Cartwright old and saying that he did not belong in the NBA. He went so far as to whip the ball at him repeatedly during drills, treating it almost like a game of dodgeball. This behavior pushed Cartwright to his limit. One day, after a particularly rough practice, Cartwright pulled Jordan aside and warned him that if he continued, he would break his legs. Although Cartwright was a big man, he knew that Jordan's anger was something to be feared. In the end, this heated exchange eventually led to a better understanding between the two, and they went on to win several championships together. But the memory of that moment still lingers as one of the most disrespectful and intense moments in NBA history. Not all of Jordan's disrespectful moments were directed at his teammates. There is also the story of the time he disrespected the entire league by shaming one of the shortest players in NBA history, Muggsy Bogues. In the 1995 playoffs, the Hornets were facing the Bulls, and Muggsy Bogues, at just 5'3", was determined to prove himself despite the odds. In a crucial moment, as the game was tied and time was running out, Bogues took the final shot. But before he could release the ball, Jordan stared him down and shouted, "Shoot it! You have to chill. This is not an Xbox lobby." Bogues missed the shot, and the Bulls went on to win the game and the series. The moment became a defining example of Jordan's overwhelming presence on the court and his willingness to put an opponent in their place, no matter how small they might be. One cannot discuss Jordan's disrespectful moments without mentioning his rivalry with Reggie Miller. In one memorable game, Jordan was up against Miller, a player known for his sharp shooting and trash talking. The tension on the court was high, and both players exchanged words that would be remembered for years. Jordan's quick wit and intense competitiveness shined through as he took every opportunity to mock Miller. The battle of words turned physical for a moment when Jordan delivered a hard foul that sent Miller reeling. This confrontation was a reminder that even legends have moments when they cross the line and show no mercy. Miller later admitted that the fear and respect he had for Jordan on the court was unlike anything he had ever experienced. It was a battle of wills, and Jordan came out on top, leaving a lasting impression on everyone who witnessed it. While many of these moments are about trash talk and on-court aggression, some of the most memorable incidents come from when Jordan disrespected the league off the court. During the 1996 NBA Finals, after a tough game against the Supersonics, Jordan was known to laugh off the efforts of his opponents. One of the most infamous clips shows Jordan watching a replay of Gary Payton's interview in which Payton criticized him, and Jordan's face turned from disbelief to anger in just seconds. Without saying a word, Jordan's expression spoke louder than any trash talk ever could. That look became one of the most iconic images of disrespect in NBA history. It showed that Jordan did not care what anyone said about him, and if someone dared to question his greatness, he would let his actions do the talking. Often meant that even a small slight would ignite a fire inside him. There were games when his anger spilled over, and he would take every opportunity to put his opponents in their place. One such moment was when he nearly destroyed an entire team with his relentless scoring and physical play. Fans still talk about those nights when it seemed like Jordan was on a mission to humiliate his rivals. His ability to dominate every aspect of the game made it clear that he was not just playing for a win, but for personal pride. These moments of disrespect were not only about trash talk, but about asserting his dominance and reminding everyone why he was the best. What is even more fascinating is that many of these disrespectful moments became part of the legend of Michael Jordan. They were talked about for years, often with a mix of awe and disbelief. People would say that if you ever doubted Jordan's greatness, just remember the times he disrespected his opponents and teammates. His actions on the court were like a masterclass in competitive spirit and psychological warfare. It was not about causing harm for the sake of it, but about using every tool at his disposal to win. In that sense, his disrespect was a key part of his game. It showed his unyielding will to succeed and his refusal to back down from any challenge, no matter how big or small. Even though some of these moments might seem harsh, they are part of the story of a man who revolutionized basketball. Michael Jordan was never afraid to speak his mind or let his actions speak louder than words. He was known to push his teammates and opponents alike to give their best effort, even if it meant crossing the line. And while his disrespect sometimes led to on-court altercations and heated exchanges, it also helped him build a legacy that continues to inspire future generations of athletes. His competitive nature, his relentless drive, and his willingness to do whatever it took to win are what set him apart from everyone else. It is these traits that have made him a symbol of excellence in sports. Michael Jordan's disrespectful moments in NBA history remind us that even the greatest players, have their flaws. They show us that success comes with a cost and that sometimes passion can turn into aggression. But at the same time, these moments also highlight the intensity and determination that helped Jordan become the best. Every aggressive move, every harsh word, and every physical confrontation was a part of his relentless pursuit of greatness. And while some may view these actions as negative, they are also a reminder of the drive and ambition that pushed him to achieve the impossible. Looking back on his career, one cannot help but be impressed by how Michael Jordan turned every challenge into an opportunity. His willingness to push boundaries and break the rules is what made him such a unique figure in sports history. He was a trailblazer who changed the game forever, and his legacy is built not just on his incredible skills, but on his attitude and his refusal to settle for anything less than the best. So what do you think about Michael Jordan's most disrespectful moments? Which one shocked you the most? Was it his fierce exchange with Steve Kerr, his savage trash talk with Kevin Garnett, or maybe the way he made even his closest friends, like Charles Barkley, feel the sting of his words? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories about the legends of the game and the unforgettable moments that shaped sports history. Michael Jordan's career is filled with moments that many of us wish we could have seen live. The intensity he brought to every game, the way he turned disrespect into a weapon, and his unyielding desire to win are all parts of what made him a true icon. Even if some of his actions were harsh, they were driven by a passion and a competitive fire that pushed him to achieve greatness. His legacy is a mix of brilliant plays and controversial moments that keep us talking even years after he retired. As we wrap up, remember that the story of Michael Jordan is not just about basketball. It is a story of human passion, determination, and the drive to overcome any obstacle. His most disrespectful moments on the court are just one side of the coin. They are a reminder that even legends have tough days, and that sometimes greatness comes with a bit of attitude. Michael Jordan changed the way we see sports and the way we understand what it means to be the best. He was never one to back down from a challenge, and his legacy will live on not just in record books, but in the hearts of fans. Michael Jordan's most disrespectful moments in NBA history. I hope you enjoyed hearing these stories as much as I enjoyed sharing them. Stay tuned for more incredible tales from the world of sports and beyond. See you in the next video.